What we're going to do is take this 1 stick of cream cheese. I need you to mix it with the mixer in this bowl. All right? Until it's creamy, and then I need you, and while you're doing that, I need one of you to add this sugar. It's a cup of sugar to the cream cheese. All right? Okay. When you finish mixing the cream cheese with the sugar, then you'll stop, give that to them to wash, fold in the whipped topping. All right, what do you girls do? That goes in the fridge, and we're on to step number 2.
To show anybody this.
Yeah, y'all, I want y'all to look right here. Alicia wants to show you guys what she has done so far. Y'all can clap if y'all want to. All right, in the fridge. Okay. All right, now then, I need for you girls to get your pot, bring it here, and let's cook some water so that you can mix up your Jell-O. Put that water in that pot, put the pot here, bring it to a boil, add these, and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, girls, we're going to put frozen strawberries in that boiling water so it'll chill quicker, but these are awfully big. So if you wanted to, if y'all will, they're frozen, but they're slushy because it's easier to cut. If you let them completely thaw, it's going to be slimy, right? And hard to cut. But these are not. So y'all lay those out and cut those, however small pieces you want. When the water boils, you'll put the Jell-O, you'll just mix Jell-O in there, and then once you get that done, then you put the frozen strawberries in there, pour it in a cold bowl, put it in the fridge. All right? Now, we can't pour it on our strawberry pretzel salad because it'll be too liquidy. So they've got to put it into the refrigerator, and after about 10 or 15 minutes, you girls check it until it's the consistency of like egg whites. And then we can pour it on there, but it won't slosh. And then we'll put it back in the refrigerator. This is not, it will work. But what's going to happen if it's not gelled is that all of those strawberries are going to come to the top instead of being all suspended in the gelatin. So, thank you, honey. See, it's fine. So it goes back in and it gels. But we do have some that we made previously. So that's a good thing. First thing to take the water, put the water in the microwave, or y'all do it, and warm it to warm. All right? Your recipe is on your table. First thing I want you to do is take this bowl. We're going to take warm water. You're going to add this, the oil, and what else? Sugar. You see the sugar? Sugar and the yeast. So when she brings you the warm water, you know you have to have warm water to activate yeast, right, everybody? Okay. So you need sugar to make the yeast also activate. So y'all with me? So it's going to be the warm water, sugar, oil, and yeast. Set the timer on your watch for 5 minutes, and we'll wait till it blooms, and then we'll go from there, okay? 1 tablespoon, your egg. Go ahead, dump it in there. It's ready. One egg, it says. 1 tablespoon of softened butter. Go ahead and stick it in there. And it's so much salt, half a teaspoon or something. It's already measured out. The recipe calls for 3 to 4 cups of flour, and that's plain flour. Okay, to start with, add 2 cups of flour. All right, Jamie, you grab the bowl, bring it here, and we'll start kneading. How many of you girls have a stand mixer? Okay. How many of you have a handheld mixer? Okay. Here, you can do this. Okay. So, y'all, this is a dough hook. Okay. So we're going to take advantage of this. Even handheld mixers have dough hooks. Now come over here and turn it to 2. So the first notch will be 1, 2. Okay. I found out since I've been making so much bread, do any of y'all have a KitchenAid mixer like this? You're not supposed to knead on anything past 2. Or it'll burn the motor up. I found that out. So what it says is to mix this, it says to add 1 cup at a time. So we're going to mix this. They put in 2 cups of flour. It says we'll need 3 to 4. So the less you can put in, the better, because it'll be fluffier. We need a spatula. And just push down your flour. Well, we want to go until the dough clears the side of the bowl. Okay, go ahead now and add another cup of flour, which is going to be half of what you got, because it's not pulling away from the sides of the bowl. Just add half of what's in there. Just keep going. And then take your spatula and push it down. All right. This is not a recipe that I normally make, because the ones that I make take a long time. But I wanted us to make a yeast bread so we could learn. So I looked up a recipe, 60-minute rolls it says. That's what this is. So when I made it, it says 3 to 4 cups of flour. When I made it the first time at my house, it took me 3 cups of flour. When we made it at noon with the employees, it took 3.5 cups of flour. Now, why would that be? The weather. Yes, it has everything to do with the weather. If you add too much flour, then your roll is dry. So you only want to add enough to where it clears and does. Okay, that's not clearing. So you need to add half of what you got. Maybe leave a half a cup in there. You're doing good. Let it go 3 minutes, it says. Okay, when you get through, y'all need to clear your station. You won't need any of that and put some flour on your station. All right, what they're going to do after 3 minutes is dump this out on a floured surface. All right, you're going to use that big knife to cut it into 16 pieces. So they're going to dump this on there. They're going to cut it in half and half again, 4 pieces. Cut each fourth into 4. It'll make 16 pieces. All right, girls, I need for you to spray this with Pam, please. And you're going to put your rolls on that. Now, let me tell you this. The closer you put them together, the higher they'll rise, because they run into one another, right? As they rise, they'll stick, and then they'll go up because they can't go out. When I made them once before for the pictures for your cookbook, I put them on a cookie sheet separately, and they're little dinky pucks. But we did them at lunch, and they were better, weren't they, Tia? Because they rose. I think they would be really good. Do any of you have a cast iron skillet? That's what I would cook them in at home if it were me. So you see what we've got? Now, it's a little sticky at the bottom, but this is a roll. This is not bread. Remember, I told you if you do too much, but it's clearing the sides, just not the bottom. Okay, y'all rake it out. Put it on your floured thing. Cut it into fourths. And then each one of you can cut your fourth into 4. And I'm going to show you how I want you to do how do you want you to form it. What I do on the roll, okay? So this is my roll. I want it to look pretty, so I'm going to do like this. Are y'all watching? And I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to do like that. All right? And then I'm going to set that down like this. And on my, where is your thing you sprayed?
Oh, right here.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what we're going to do. And so put them all in there. When you get through and you get all 16 on there, the instructions say this, which is weird, but I just follow the instructions. It says, once that is done, it says to put parchment paper on it and then cover it with a kitchen towel, let it rise in a warm place. We're going to let it says to let it rise 10 minutes, but we're going to let it rise as long as possible. So Donna, girls, we're going to let it rise till 20 minutes till, because it's going to cook for 20 minutes. So at 20 minutes till, y'all be responsible for keeping up with that. Then you'll get it, you'll take the milk and you'll brush the tops with milk. Hand it to Faith and she will bake it for you. Marinated vegetables, so pull out the things from underneath. I need someone to do the dressing. Have you got 4 people? I need someone to cut the onion, dice the onion, someone to dice the green pepper, someone to empty all of the cans, and someone to cook the dressing. I need you to drain all of the vegetables. We'll find our colander. I need for you somebody to dice this, somebody to dice this, and somebody to cook the dressing. So who wants to cook? All right, the dressing. Put the sugar, vinegar, oil, salt, pepper, and celery seed in there and bring it to a boil. Just stir that up. Okay, it says to let the dressing cool slightly. So we're going to get you an ice bowl. My mother loved marinated vegetables. And this was one of hers that she just loved, because a lot of people on potlucks would do marinated vegetables. So what it calls for is the green beans. These are the French cut green beans. So you'll drain these. It calls for the niblet corn, or what is that called? Shoe peg corn. Then 1 diced onion and 1 diced green pepper and 1 jar of pimentos and 1 small jar of peas. So if you want to just Yeah, if you can do that, if you can use that, or... They're bristling pretty well. Okay, so what have we got here? Are y'all finished? Ready, yes. So instead of the whole thing, you just put in half. When we take that out and put that into our serving dish, then, honey, you can add your garnish.
Okay.
Okay, so into the fridge it goes. Show you what the butter looks like. And I want you to look at it first, and then I want you to look at it after they beat it. Okay, so this is the butter. The reason I lay it like this is so it can get more surface to come to room temperature. You cannot, here, put it in there and let's go ahead and get it started. You can't put butter in the microwave and soften it. If you put butter in the microwave, it will melt. Okay, set your timer for 5 minutes. You've got to whip it for 5. The butter. Everybody listen carefully. You've got to go 5 minutes. I set my timer for 5 minutes, and it's got to beat on medium speed for 5 minutes. Only the butter, nothing else. Have you ever had a pound cake that like you cut into it and like the middle had it was doughy in a certain part? You know what I'm talking about? That's because it wasn't beaten enough to where it would all rise. Okay? Like I said, there's no leavening, nothing. The only thing that makes this rise is the beating of the butter and then the eggs. Okay, it's got a minute and a half left, but I think we'd already gone a little bit. If you want to see, I want you to come over here and look at this and see how white it is. Okay, that's our butter. Leave it going and do not stop it. I need you to take the sugar. We're going to go 3 cups of sugar, and you will pour it in gradually while it continues to beat. All right? So you can't dump it all at once. You have to slowly pour it in. Yeah, that's fine. Just keep going like that till it's all incorporated. All the while, you're still beating. It's going to become more and more fluffy as you continue to beat. Okay, the eggs. Girls, I need you to get your eggs. Okay, go ahead and break them into your thing so that you don't get the shell in, and then we'll add one at a time. You can go ahead and put them together and then just put one at a time in there. Okay, all right, back to this. It is all-purpose flour. It's not cake flour. It's not bread flour. It's not whole wheat. It is just plain old all-purpose flour. Okay, so now we've done a pound of butter, 3 cups of sugar. Now we're going to do an egg one at a time. So let one yolk go in and let it disappear. All right, hold on. When it disappears, you go for number 2. All right, so do all 6. Okay, the ingredients need to be at room temperature, not only the butter, but also the eggs and the milk. They've been out since 2 o'clock today. It said in your cookbook, it says, listen to me, girls. It says in the cookbook, leave out the butter 30 minutes. That is not long enough. It needs to stay out for hours. I need somebody to cut up the strawberries. I need somebody to whip the cream. Just whip the whole thing. Whip it and then put the sugar in it and just keep whipping it till it makes some peaks. You cut those however you want to cut them. All right? All right, let's go with this for your sugar, and she's going to bring you some more. Okay. Right here? Okay, is everything in there?
The eggs, the sugar.
All right, we're going to go down to nothing, and we're going to go with the flour now. One of you get the flour, one of you get the milk. All right, let's talk. Here's the last thing. We have 4 cups of flour. Y'all listen to me. Don't do anything till I tell you. Okay. All right, we have 4 cups of flour, and we have 3/4 of a cup of milk at room temperature. So we're going to go a cup of flour, 1/4 a cup milk. A cup of flour, 1/4 a cup milk. Cup of flour, 1/4 a cup milk, and it's gone. And the last cup of flour. Now you've got all your flour in that one thing, so you just have to estimate. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's on 1 because if not, it flies everywhere. Okay, so you girls go ahead with that. A teaspoon of each of these. A teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of almond. If you don't like almond, leave it out. You could do 2 of vanilla. Or you could do vanilla and lemon if you don't like almond. All right, y'all watch. It's done. But this is what I do. I do like this. Just to make sure it's on it. Okay, take it down, take it out, and put it in your pan. You got to be real careful to grease it well and flour it well, or it won't come out. All right, you're going to have to take it by spoonfuls and plop. Spoonful, plop. It won't pour. Okay? It's not going to pour in there.
I didn't hear what you said over this loud music.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I said, no, take it out of there.
It's still ain't done, but I want to hear what you said.
Okay. So what I said was, it won't pour. You're going to have to take some out, plop it, turn it, take it, plop it, and then just spread it out. Right. Okay, she's taking our strawberries, and she's just putting sugar however much she wants. If you're diabetic, you could put Splenda or something else. Y'all baked. It says it bakes for 1 hour and 40 minutes. I've never had one get done in an hour. If y'all pass this to Tiff, I've never had one get done in 1 hour and 40 minutes.
What are you cooking on?
It's 300.
300.
And mine takes me 2 hours. So that's going to have to cook for, no, a 300-degree oven. It's not cold. And because, here's why. Because it doesn't have any leavening in it. So those are called quick breads that have the soda and brown sugar and powdered sugar, baking soda, sorry. They're called quick breads. But we cook this in a slow oven. If you cooked it quick, it would just never rise. So it has to cook at 300, a slow oven. So it's a slow bread, basically. So it slowly will rise. Y'all, there are millions of ways to make potato salad. So I used to feel like I had to, say, well, I'm sorry that I hope you don't like. But anyway, I watched Brenda Gant. How many of y'all watch her? And she does what she does, and it just doesn't matter. So anyway, this is the way I do potato salad. All right, we've got our potato. Girls, start cutting up your potatoes in the size that you want them to be. Is there a bowl underneath? Yes. Okay, put it in that bowl. All right. So a couple of y'all do that. Let's talk about our potatoes. Okay, I need someone to dice the onion. And the other two people need to cut up those potatoes. You can leave them in big chunks. You can put them in small chunks, however you want to do them. We came over about a couple months ago to make a demo and make pictures for you guys of the recipes. Well, the cheapest potato to buy is a russet. Are y'all with me on that? Which is what they make baked potatoes out of. So, of course, we bought russets. And we brought them right here and we cooked them, and they just fell all to pieces. So, the picture that's in your cookbook looks like mashed potato salad. So I told Tiff, I said, she bought the stuff for this time. I said, get red potatoes. So these have held together a little bit better. They're a little more waxy. We did also find that if you either boil them whole or just in half, they won't disintegrate. If you dice them first, you might as well forget it. Okay, so show them a piece of what, hold up a piece of what, that is a quarter. All right. Some people like their potato salad in big pieces, some in small. So it's totally up to you how you want them done. So that's the first thing, is the potatoes. So really this recipe is more of a method than it is a recipe. All right? So you just gauge how many people you're going to have and you cook that many potatoes. So that's the potatoes. Everybody's with me. We salted the water, cooked them, drained them, and then put cold water over them to stop the cooking process. Okay? All right. Now, if you like onions, put it in there. I love onions. We did the red onion for color. Is there anybody who doesn't like onion? We can leave some out. Okay. So we'll do the potatoes and onions. And then if you like celery, put celery in it. But we did not get it for today. So they're going to put that in there. They're going to put the onion. Then they're going to put some pickle relish. Now, I use pickle relish because that's what I like. It's sweet relish. That's what we're having. But now you can buy dill relish, and some people like dill relish in theirs. Some people like to cut up their own homegrown pickles. We are not big pickles eaters, so I do not can pickles. I don't put them up. But if you do and you like them, then you should put those in there. If you like dill pickles, you should put that in there. This is a primarily mayonnaise-based dressing because that's what I like. Some people like mustard salad, potato salad, but I don't, so that's not what this recipe is. So they're going to do that, and then let me talk about the dressing. I am not a big mayonnaise person. Like if I were eating a hamburger and mayonnaise was oozing out, I would take my finger and flick it to the side and put it on my plate. I'm not that kind of a mayonnaise person. I like mayonnaise only to moisten bread. So what I make for my potato salad is a dressing. Okay, now think in your mind, what does mayonnaise look like and what does ranch dressing look like? All right? So mayonnaise is thicker, ranch dressing is thinner. I do a mixture to where it is the consistency of ranch dressing. So I go with mayonnaise, a squirt of mustard, and I thin it with milk and stir it. Because what happens is when you mix it with the potatoes soak up that liquid, right? And like if you serve potato salad the next day, it's going to be thick in there because they absorb it. And then but if it's just mayonnaise, it's just too mayonnaisey. Do y'all see that?
Oh, yeah. That's the dressing.
You see the dressing? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. That's the dressing. Okay. This is the dressing. All right. We're probably going to have to add more. Okay. What that is mayonnaise, a squirt of mustard, salt, pepper, and milk. It's just to me too mayonnaisey otherwise. All right, if that's not enough, you're going to have to add more mayonnaise, okay? So you fix it like you like it. If you like it soupy, make it soupy. All right, when they finish, they're going to put that in the fridge, and our last recipe is this one. Y'all listen, let's talk about glazing a ham. When you buy it, somebody invented spiral hams, and I'm grateful to that person because we love a spiral ham. But when you buy one at Walmart or Kroger or Sam's or Aldi or wherever, it has a label on it. Just FYI, you can lift up that label and it gives instructions underneath the label on how to cook it. So a ham is supposed to go for, a spiral sliced ham is already cooked. Okay, it's already cooked. All you're doing is warming it up. It's supposed to cook 12 to 15 minutes per pound. There are two different kinds that you can buy, a shank or a butt. What is this? No, this is a butt. A shank has a bone that comes up like this. Do not buy a shank because you pay a certain amount per pound and you're paying for that bone which you cannot eat. They all have bones in them, but why would you want a huge bone? This one is not, however, this is not a shank, this is a butt. So this particular one said that you could either brush it on or you could put it on there dry, but I'm not much for the dry. So we mixed water with the glaze and brought it to a boil, and now we are glazing the ham. It says, this particular one says put into the oven for the last 30 minutes to, I'm just going to do this for the sake of time, and let it cook the last 30 minutes. So girls, you want to come get this? It's been cooking for 3 hours and covered. We just uncovered it. Okay. Do any of you have a broiler pan at your house? That's normally what I use, and a trivet. We did not have a broiler pan. We did not have a trivet, so we improvised. Okay? So that's what that is. Okay, so Isabella or one of y'all come back and get our ham and put it in that 300-degree oven, please. Okay. All right, you girls ready? Ready. Okay, does everybody see the spiral sliced ham? And you see it's not sliced all the way, right? So we like gravy. If you like gravy, you don't need to glaze it. So Sunday, Ricky is the glaze. He is the gravy king. He likes to make gravy. So he made gravy out of the drippings. But no, he just made gravy with, flour, but it wasn't good because why? It was sweet. So if you want to have it later with, you got to decide if you want to put the glaze on it or not. I like the glaze because I think it makes tremendous sandwiches. When they cut your spiral sliced ham, they don't cut the end of it. So we're just going to go ahead and it does cut the big part. So we're going to dive in and make a cut according to the way the ham is. See, look at there. So here we go. I think that's too big of a piece, so I am going to cut it like this. Ricky always does this, but I'm going to try to do my best. So we'll just, this is hot, but we'll try to flake it out like this, right? And make it look as pretty as possible. That's great. All right, and then there's this, like this. Of course, ham will feed a million. It costs a lot, but it feeds a lot. So we'll come on around. This is a chunk that is not spiral. So we save that and we put that in. Yeah. So that's my chunk, and here are my slices. So we're just going to fan it out. And
did you buy it spiraled or did you cut it?
No, we bought it spiral. Talk about Brenda Gant. She always preaches she does not like the spiral, but I love it because I think it's a thin slice. I like a thin slice. It's just personal preference. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to see how far that goes, and this will be here if we need some more.